Welcome back to another Pokemon Throwback Thursday, where every Thursday morning we take a deep dive into a new set. We're going in complete order. So the set we're checking out today is Pokemon Go. Then of course we're going to be highlighting a certain Pokemon. We're going to be checking out their best cards in Pokemon history. And for today's video, that is going to be Psyduck. And we are going to do a giveaway today. All you got to do is make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, hit that like, and you got to answer the question of the day. Who'd win in a fight, Mewtwo or Thor? And this is a card we're giving away today, beautiful Fennekin promo. And we do have to announce the winner from last year's giveaway, and it is at Ryan Dunn. So shoot me an email or hit me up on Instagram. I'll get those cards sent out to you. And I will be sending out all the giveaways here in the next few days. We've just been so behind. And we do have to give a quick thanks to our video sponsor, and that is Punch-Out Gaming. This is my local game store that I go to, and it's the #1 game store in all of Minnesota. I've actually been in them all. Nobody can beat their variety, and they're only located 30 minutes north of the Twin Cities, so definitely check them out. And then, of course, if you guys want to try out PSA for your first time, click the link, use code BEARD25, you get $25 off your first submission. And same thing with Tag, use the code BEARD102 and you'll get 10% off your first submission. And if you guys could do me a massive favor and download the FANATICS Collect app and go to Collect Originals and follow my channel on there, Pokebeard. I will be live premiering my Falling Fridays and my Market Mondays hours before I post it on YouTube completely for free. And this Falling Friday, which I post at 7 p.m. Central Time on Thursday, I will be giving away a Gold Star Greninja promo in the actual chat. So definitely swing by. It's going to be a ton of fun. I'll have all the links in the description. And I'll be vending in Austin, Texas, July 10th through the 12th with Coop and Beard Dad at Trading Card Con. And you can use the code Pokebeard to receive $5 off your tickets. But all right, let's get to it. So we have the set Pokemon Go. I honestly feel like this is a pretty underrated set when you actually think about it and how unique it is. So we got the big boy, the Mewtwo V alternate art at $65. I swear if this card came out in a newer set without a Pokemon Go stamp, it'd be $300. The only thing I could personally even think about changing for this card, like art-wise, is if it was at night. I think it'd be a little bit cooler, but still, for $65, if you guys want to get the Mewtwo EX from, Destined Rivals or Ascended Heroes, you can just pick this one up for $65, and in my opinion, it's almost on par. Then we got the Rainbow Mewtwo V-Star at $55, the Dragonite V-Star Rainbow at $48, we got a Gold Mewtwo V-Star at $39, and then we got the Radiant Charizard all the way up to $25 now. And then they have one of the coolest gimmicks ever, which is the Ditto cards. They have the Bidoof, Numel, and Spinarak, and there's a little Ditto symbol down below, and you can actually peel those, and there's a Ditto underneath. These cards are actually very difficult to grade and worth, hundreds and hundreds of dollars in a 10. But the Bidoof is 20, Numel is 15, and Spinarak is 15 also. Then we got the Radiant Blastoise and Venusaur, and then a full art Dragonite. So if you think about this set, we have 3 Mewtwo's, an alternate art, a Rainbow, and a Gold. We have a Rainbow Dragonite, a Full Art Dragonite, and then we have a Radiant, which means Shiny, Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur, with the peelable Ditto cards, which is some of the most unique cards we've gotten in forever. So yeah, not too bad of a set. Another thing I really wish I would have added was a Chansey alternate art, since Chansey was such a tank in Pokemon Go for the gyms. I felt like that would have really made this set pop off. And we do have another alternate art, but it's just a Conkeldurr, which is a super nice art. I almost wish we could swap this art with the Mewtwo art, to be honest. But yeah, not bad. Total set value, $482. This set came out June 30th, 2022. All right, let's check out some cards individually. We have the Radiant Venusaur. This was a $56 PSA 10 card, now selling for around $135. This has a pop of $4,100 in a 10, $2,500 in a 9. And then TCG Player, it's like 11 or 12 bucks, up to 15. Next, we have the Radiant Blastoise with a pop of $4,900 in a 10, $2,700 in a 9. So it's also at $65, now sitting around $150 in a PSA 10, and about the same price as the Venusaur. Next, we have the Radiant Charizard. This is at $117 in a 10, now selling for about $200. This is a pop-up $11,700 in a 10 and $6,800 in a 9. And like I said before, TCG Player right around $25. Next, we have the Ditto cards. So here's the Spinarak. Last sold is $1,174. This has a pop of $77 in a 10, $302 in a 9. Like I said, worth a decent amount in a 10. And for a $15 card. Next, we have the Numel. This is probably my favorite one, honestly. This has a pop of $102 in a 10, $325 in a 9. And last sold on eBay in a 10 is $1,240. And around the same price. And we have the Bidoof. This has a pop of $79 in a 10, $416 in a 9. Last sold in a 10 is $1,172. And this one's worth around $20 raw. Next, we have the Gold Mewtwo V-Star with a pop of $2,991 in a 10, $2,200 in a 9. This was at $89, now coming down a little bit, right around $140. And then, like I said, TCG Player is $40. Next, we have the Rainbow, was at 115. Now last sold 190. This is a pop of 3,600 in a 10, 1,500 in a 9. TCG player has it at 55. Next, the Dragonite V-Star with a pop of 2,200 in a 10, 974 in a 9. This was at $95. Now last sold 150. TCG player has it at $48. And the Mewtwo V alternate art with a pop of 7,900 in a 10, 6,000 in a 9 was at 187. Now last sold 357 in a 10. TCG player has it at 65. Just feel like it's so underrated for that price. Also, we have a couple really nice V cards in here. Probably my favorite V cards. So we have the Mewtwo V, just the basic Ultra Rare V, and the Dragonite V. These two, in my opinion, are the best two. Well, we also got the Lugia V that's sick. So those three are the best basic Ultra Rare V cards, in my opinion. Like art-wise, it's just crazy. Like that is so nice. But all right, we're going to hop to some sealed. We have the Pokemon Go booster pack. So is that $10. Now last sold 11 and 12. So about 22 of them for $12. Here's the regular ETB, doing really good. Was at 135. Now last sold 155, 165, and 160. And the Pokemon Center one was at 200. Completely leveled out now. Last sold 245, 248, and 265. So yeah, that was Pokemon Go. Not a bad little set. All right, next we're checking out Psyduck. We're going to check out some of these cheaper arts since there's a decent amount of them. Psyduck has been getting a lot of love lately. Man, this card is so nice. Him laying on the flowers. Ooh, a nice happy Misty Psyduck from Destined Rivals. But yeah, I got a Hidden Fates one that's really cool. Nice background on that one. The team up one is also really nice. We got the one with the flowers with the love ball. That's kind of a cool combo. Psyduck with the love ball. And we got some vintage stuff which we're going to be checking out. Let's see. Cosmic Eclipse one is kind of cool. And yeah, we're getting to the older stuff now. So we're going to be checking that out. We're going to go from newest to oldest. All right, we have the Psyduck from Ascended Heroes. Let me know down below your guys' favorite new modern Psyduck. Is it the Ascended Heroes one, the Misty Psyduck from Destined Rivals, or the Psyduck from 151? If I had to choose right now, man, the Ascended Heroes one I think is the most adorable, but I kind of like the one swimming with Misty. I just feel like getting Misty in the card is a bonus. But yeah, let me know down below. That's a tough one. All right, so we have the Ascended Psyduck. It's got up to $805 in a 10. Now last sold $539. And then raw, we have prices from $80 up to like $115. And PSA 9 at $138. Next, we have the Misty Psyduck from Destined Rivals. This is a pop of $7,500 in a 10, $14,000 in a 9. Last sold on eBay is $500. This was $287 in March. And TCG player has it at $77 now, and we got a PSA 9 at 85. Next, we have the 151 Psyduck with a pop of only $5,200 in a 10, $9,100 in a 9. And we got TCG player at $77 and a PSA 9 at 85. Next, we have the 151 Psyduck. This is a pop of $5,200 in a 10, $9,100 in a 9. This was at $350 in March, and now last sold $480 in a 10. TCG player has it at 78, and we got a 9 at 88. Next, we are jumping to the Sun and Moon era because Psyduck did not get any love in the Sword and Shield era. So we got the full art Slowpoke and Psyduck. One of the craziest combos ever, if you really think about it. This was at $450 in a 10 in April. Now last sold $708. This is a pop of $602 in a 10, $748 in a 9. And TCG player has it at $133. Next, same exact art, but the rainbow version. A little bit rarer. This is a pop of $372 in a 10, $442 in a 9. This is at $500 in April. Now last sold $1,258. People laughed at me when I said, you know, I'm trying to finish my Rainbow Tag Team PSA 10 collection. And wow, they are worth so much money now. But TCG player has this at $175 and then a 9 at $208. Next, we have our first alternate art, and it is done by Arita with the Slowpoke and Psyduck GX Tag Team, non-textured. So this one's easier to pull. It says a pop of $1,595 in a 10, $1,700 in a 9. Was at $343 in April. Now last sold $691. Next, we have the big boy, the actual Slowpoke and Psyduck Tag Team alternate art. So this one does have texture, and it has a pop of $1,476 in a 10, $1,493 in a 9. Last sold in a 10 is 3,365. Last sold in a 9 is 477. And we got a couple more sales at 35 and 31. And then TCG Player has it at $306. Next, we have the Detective Pikachu Psyduck. This is a Sun and Moon promo. Last sold on eBay in a 10 was $1,000. Not a ton of info on this card. This has a pop of 29 in a 10 and 76 in a 9. But you can get a PSA 8 for $21. TCG Player has it at $33. Next, we have the McDonald's Psyduck. This is from 2018. This is a pop of 3 in a 10. And it says the last sold on eBay is $10,316. And PSA 9 is $1,514. But yet you can buy it on TCG Player for $65. eBay says $28, but it's going to, vary completely because of the conditions. Next, one of my favorite cards on the list, we have the EX Team Rocket Returns Psyduck Reverse Holo with that nice stamp. Last sold on eBay was $9,999 with a pop of 4. And it sold for $10,000 with a pop of 4. And we got a PSA 9 with a pop of 88, sold for $2,272. And we got an 8 at $900. TCG Player has it at $52, which is just incorrect. And then eBay has it at $367, especially if you want the reverse holo in near mint condition. There is a non-reverse holo. So that's probably what that is. Next, we have the Delta Species Psyduck with a lightning attack. That is so cool. This has a pop of 23 in a 10, 75 in a 9. This is a reverse holo. And last sold on eBay, $8,000. Last sold in a 9, $1,312. And eBay has it at $240 for near mint condition. Next, we got our e-reader cards. Again, let me know down below which e-reader is your favorite. So, well, that almost looks like the McDonald's logo, but that's from Aquapolis. And we got the EX Sandstorm with the X's on the eyes. I think that's in the lead. And then we got the Team Magma versus Team Aqua. Kind of boring out of the three. Yeah, mine is definitely the EX Sandstorm with those X's. That's adorable. But all right, here's the Aquapolis one. This one's good too, him swinging on a set. No information on this one in a PSA 10. Last sold in a 9 is $7,350. So you can kind of guess what a 10 is going to go for. Has a pop of 3 in a 10, 32 in a 9, 67 in a 8. Last sold in a 8 is $4,100. Which is just crazy, because if you actually go look at some of these sales of these super low pop cards for 10, 9, 8, and 7s, if you go look at see who's actually like bidding on them, most of them are like fake. A lot of these sales are honestly fake, and they're just getting super hyped up, and everybody's asking just crazy amounts for these low pops. If the market cools off a little bit, I feel like people are going to lose a lot of money on a lot of these low pops. And this card is so expensive raw too. We got one at $765, $850, $1,600, another one at $850 for a reverse holo Psyduck. Next, we have the EX Sandstorm Psyduck with a pop of 6 in a 10 and 53 in a 9. We got a sale at $645, but that was a while ago. And we got a newer sale and a PSA 9 at $560. So a 10 would definitely be worth probably way more just because it is a low pop. I'm sure it'll sell for like $5,000 now. Next, we have the Team Magma versus Team Aqua. This is a pop of 28 in a 9. We don't even have a PSA 10 pop. So not a ton of information on this card. The newest sale we have was very recent for an 8 at $654. Next, we have the Misty Psyduck with that W stamp. Again, not a ton of information for this one. Last sold was $1,400, and that was legitimately a year ago. Next, we have the Wizards of the Coast Black Star promo. Probably my favorite vintage Psyduck. Just love how it's drawn. This has a pop of 1,192 in a 10 and 1,529 in a 9. Looks like we got a recent sale on a PSA 10 at $766, and TCG Player has this at $80 and eBay at $88. Next, we got a bunch of the vintage commons. So here is the Clay Psyduck from Neo Destiny. This is the first edition. It's going up in price. First edition is all the way up to $52 now, which is just insane. And then PSA 10, we had a sale at $941, and then we have a newer sale here at $668. Super beautiful cards, though. I love these old commons. Here we got a first edition Misty Psyduck. This is from Gym Challenge. Also going up in price raw. We got sales now at $28 for this card. Psyduck's just going crazy. And PSA 10, we had one at $670, dropped down to $610. And we have another one at $710. Next, we have the other Misty Psyduck. This is from Gym Heroes. First edition raw is selling for $30. The unlimited is selling for $8. Same with all the other ones, all under $10 for unlimited. And PSA 10, we have a sale at $905. Next, we have the Fossil Psyduck. This was up to $15 raw in first edition and $2 unlimited. Dropped down to $8 first edition and now selling for around $11. PSA 10 got up to $854. Dropped down to $570. Now we got a new one at $746. And we have the Team Rocket Psyduck first edition. Got a lot of love back in the day. So first edition went from $4 up to $8 raw, $1.85 unlimited, and PSA 10 is right around $317 is what it says on Collector. But all right, now we got the big boy, the Legendary Collection Psyduck Reverse Holo with a pop of 44 and a 10, 215 and a 9. Last sold on eBay is $23,400. Just insane. And TCG Player has this at $490. I swear I used to buy this card for like $10, $15. Not even. Legendary Collection Reverse Holos used to be so cheap for the commons and uncommons to where, like, if you're paying for like an actual rare, then you're talking maybe $50. But just crazy how expensive. And then raw, $365, $573. It says there's a crease. We got a PSA 9 at $3,400, PSA 7 at $865. We had another raw at $619. Just so expensive. But all right, we're going to end on a couple Japanese exclusives. We have the Psyduck XY Pokémon Collection Promo. This is a Japanese exclusive. Check that art out. Just crazy. It says raw, $991. PSA 10, $6,423. And last on the list, the best Psyduck card ever created, and that is the Scream Promo. So this was at $669 in November 2025. Went up to $2,600 in April of 2026. Coming down now, last sold $1,312. PSA 10 got up to about $13,000. Dropped down to $9K. And sitting right now right around $12,000. But yeah, I genuinely feel like this is the best Psyduck card we've ever gotten. It's just insane and honestly kind of creepy. I love it. But all right, that was this week's Pokemon Throwback Thursday. I really hope to see you guys tonight in the chat for the live premiere of my Following Friday on the Fanatics Collect app. You just got to go to Collect Originals. And like I said, I'll be giving away that Greninja Gold Star to someone in the chat during the video. So I hope to see you guys there. And of course, if you guys like this content, want to stay ahead of the market, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a like and comment. If you guys want to support more, check out my Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube membership, all that. You guys know what to do. You guys are the absolute best. But I want you guys to have a great day. And if you guys could do me another massive favor and watch my newest vending video that I posted a couple days ago, click the video above. Otherwise, if you guys want to watch my other vending videos, I have an entire playlist, so check that out. But all right, we'll see you next time.